June 16th, 2010, a date which will live in infamy. You may recognize the introduction. That's because I stole it from Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I figured Roosevelt would be a good guy to plagiarize from, as he entered his presidency looking at a world very similar to the one we have before us today. The economy is in the toilet, class disparity is only intensifying, and God only knows what the Germans are up to. Challenges and frustrations which were dumped on us by the prior generation. It's one of the bleachers around us. However, we have all taken the contemporary world issues and are fully aware of the impending doom and despair. So I'm going to try to avoid talking about the future just yet. And no better way to avoid thinking about the future than looking at the past. Regardless of your opinion of your peers, there's one undeniable fact which binds us. We have all spent the last 13 years waiting for this moment. Not this exact moment, as in watching a weird kid in class try to represent a Super Bowl, but graduation in general. All the homework, the detention, the indoor recess, the mile runs, the square pizza, the Joel Scissors, the dehumanizing conformity, the waffles every single year, the summaries, the independent reading reports, the cursive writing that we never use, the front of the bus, and the advisory has finally paid off. After all these years of torment and labor, we have finally earned this great reward, a piece of paper that says we are adequately smart. I'll be the first to admit it has not been worth it. But at least we, the class of 2010, managed to make it as fun as we could along the way. Many of the people in this room have been friends since elementary school, some since middle school, some since just last year. But regardless of your date of entry, we have suffered the storm together. As negative an experience as our journey through the public education system was, we all had people we could turn to for some sort of brief respite. When homework got us down, we could watch Chris Stone make history at the homecoming game. We could watch Jessica Olsen pass every test the school ever printed. We could watch Thomas Kovach do a triple backflip off his own elbows while upside down in the straight down. Our years through school will doubtlessly be remembered as morose and disconsolate, but unity and friendship will find a way to shine through. The many pranks, theme weeks, and other highlights will pepper our brief and doleful reminiscences like bright stars against the dark canvas of our 13 years struggle. My point is, this experience has had some goodness. It has now been 4 solid years since we all graduated 8th grade and entered the foreboding world of high school. In these 4 years, we saw Daniel Codd transform from a self-described short and fat schmuck to a Herculean football icon. We saw Emily Leopold grow from a good singer to an excellent singer. We saw Kevin Flanagan turn from a kid with an afro to a kid without an afro. We all grew up and changed together, and that's something for which we have the school today. No matter where life takes us individually, we will always remember the comrades we had during our fragile formative years, and that's actually a pretty neat thing. All things, however, come to an end. This is that end. Even with the existence of Facebook, infinitely pervasive as it may seem, many of us will never see each other again. We will no longer walk halls where we know every single person we pass by name. We will no longer be confused and threatened when we discover people our age around town with whom we have no former acquaintance. We will never again hear backroom puns, Hancock's insults, or Beamer's wisdom. But it's not all that. We are now carving our own paths into the future. In the wise words of an aforementioned football icon, if you're worried about what happened yesterday, don't be. This isn't high school anymore. Think about that for a second. This isn't high school anymore. That chapter of our lives is over. Now, as terrific and awesome and super exciting as that fact is, it's also incredibly daunting. This is the first point in our lives where we truly call the shots, where we make decisions on our own and have to suffer the consequences of our every action. We've never had this kind of responsibility before. Many people, upon reaching this new independence, realize the comfort that accompanies conformity and social adherence. They subject themselves to yet another system, wherein their lives are governed by the actions and decisions of others, and many people are perfectly happy living this way, while others are not. The world is full of opportunities, and not just ones presented in careers in 10th grade. Doctor, lawyer, accountant, etc. All of school, and it seems all of society, is geared towards the idea that success is an affluent retirement. That after working hard for 45 years, you can relax when you're 65 and blow your savings on medicine and knickknacks. That is not the only life one can lead. I've always been a proponent of throwing social expectations to the wind and truly blazing your own trail. Leaving behind the seemingly auspicious opportunities encouraged by your mothers, fathers, grandparents, neighbors, counselors, and instead, perhaps, absconding to Mongolia to raise yaks in the foothills. Now, I understand very few people here would find a life of yak husbandry actually fulfilling. But the point remains, look beyond the typical, the common, and the secure, and find what it is you truly want to do in your life. Advance confidently in the direction of your dreams. But this above all, stay frosty. We're off the right.